Hi, this is Chris DeVincentis, and I sure hope you're having a good day. So in the statistic category, we've got information for Fontana, Lake Geneva, Delavan, and Elkhorn for 2020 compared to 2019. So we're going to take a look at that right now. And right now, what you're looking at on the screen is you're looking at Fontana in this comparison. And we're going to talk about list price, sold price, days on the market, and also sale to list price, which is a ratio that everybody looks at. So for Fontana for 2020, 498,500 was the median list price. 412,499 was the 2019 number. And you can see the difference right here, 20.85% change in list price. Now the average is a different number because we have lakefront property that skews the averages. So always look at the median. The median is the best number to look at. But the average was 625 plus. For 2019 was 744. Which actually was down from an average standpoint. So there was more higher end things selling in 2019. The median sold price, though, and here we go, is 475,000 versus 391,000 in 2019 for a 21.48% change. That's pretty doggone substantial when you think the median is the statistical center. Average sold price, $594,955 versus $696,556 for a 14% reduction. Again, averages lie, median does not lie. Days on the market for sold, 116 in 2020, 87 in 2019 for a 33% increase. Now, the cumulative days on the market is 142 versus 113, and cumulative means if the property was relisted with another agent or a couple of other agencies, what was the total number of those days on the market, the cumulative number? And that increased by 25.66%. Days on the market, people think things are selling in 2 to 5 days, and a lot of property does, especially the high demand categories. But there's still a lot of property that takes quite a bit of time to sell, although 116 is typically lower than the average of about 160. So it's a fast-moving market. And we are low of inventory. List price to sell price, higher percentage this year, 95.14 versus 93.62 in 2019 for a 1.62% difference. And you think almost 2%, on the average price or the median price of a 475, that's $8,000 to $10,000. So that's a big difference. And then if you look at the original list price for homes that have gone through price reductions, it's almost identical, 91.45 versus 91.24. All right. So that's what Fontana looks like. Feel free, if you're interested in these markets, to try to take replay this video and take a snapshot of the screen, or we can send it to you. We've got it in an Excel spreadsheet. All right, let's take a look at Lake Geneva. Here's what Lake Geneva looks like for the same years. Median list, 349. For 2020, for 2019 was 282,945, $66,000 difference for a 23% increase. Now the average list price was 450 versus 375, $75,000 difference for a 20.07% increase because both of those increased. Now here's the median sold price, the all-important one, 340,000 in 2020 versus 293,578 for a total of 46,422, or 15.81% increase in a percent change for the actual median sold price in 2020. That's huge. Statistically, they say that 5% is the average. If you have years above that or years below that, it usually gravitates back to that average of 5%. So 15% represents that huge buyer demand that we saw after COVID in the Geneva Lakes area. Average sold price, 431,628 versus 363,511 for an 18+% difference, almost 19%. The days on the market, almost identical, 80 versus 81. The cumulative days on the market for property that had gone and been listed with other real estate agencies, what was the total cumulative days on the market? Was 110 versus 98, 12% reduction. And the sold price to list price, again, which is a great indicator of how well things are selling, and how much people are willing to pay in relation to list price, 95.81 versus 96.88 in 2019. So we went down there, and we also went down a little bit in the sales price to original list price. And again, original list price are those homes that have gone through price reductions. All right. So that's Lake Geneva. And I want to say here too, we put this together so that you can stay informed and educated about the markets. And we're going to be doing these for some other markets and comparing these years as well. So stay tuned for that on our Facebook page and on our website. Let's go to Delavan. Now, of course, Delavan is the city of Delavan and the town of Delavan, and the town includes Delavan Lake. So again, just like Lake Geneva, Fontana, you get those skewed numbers when you use the average instead of the median. All right. So for 2020, we have 225,000 is the median list, 194.9 as the median list in 2019, $30,000 difference, 15% increase. 319,000 was the average list. 273,000 was the average in 2019, which was a 16% increase. So the percentages are the same, but you can see the numbers are very different because of lake property skewing the averages to the high side. The median sold price is 220,000. That is the accurate number for median sold, the statistical center, versus 199,000 for a difference of 29.1, or again, 15.24% increase. Huge increase. Average sold price, 312,211 versus 259,531. 52,000 plus is the difference for 20.3% increase. All right. Days on the market went from 67 last year. It was 69 in 2019, dropped by a couple of days, which means it's a lot of symmetry in those 2 years. And then for the cumulative days on the market for those particular properties that have been listed with other real estate companies, that even went down too, and it went down nicely. It went down over 12%, 81 versus 93, 12.9%. And then the sale price to list price. The sale price to list price went up by 2.92%, which is a 3.08% difference. And that 3% again on 220,000 as a median sold price is $6,600. And that's pretty substantial money back in a seller's pocket. And then the sales price to the original list price for homes that went through price reductions, that jumped dramatically, which means there probably were not a lot of properties that went through price reductions. They sold at their original list price. 2020 was 95.62 versus 91.83 for a 4.13% difference. And that's a substantial number as well. So that's Delavan, includes the city, includes Delavan Lake. Finally, we're going to go to Elkhorn. Now, this is the 53121 zip code. So this actually takes into account the Lauderdale Lakes area as well as Sugar Creek, LaGrange, and the city of Elkhorn. So the median list price was $258,000 versus $223,900 in 2019. That's a 34,000 plus difference for 15.23%. And the average was 264 versus 220 for a 19.62% difference. But again, this median price is the important one. And here we go with the median sold price, $259,390 versus $229,900 in 2019 for a 12.83% increase. Again, when 5% is the historical norm, 12.83 is over twice of that. That's a big, big jump in 1 year. And the average sold price is $262,252 versus $218,171. Again, this average is skewed by Lauderdale Lake properties in the 53121 zip code. And that showed a 20.2% increase. So this will be interesting. The days on the market for the solds went from 43 in 2019 up to 51 in 2020. And again, things are selling fast. Depends which pockets of property, price range, location. That's an 18% increase in the days on the market. And the cumulative days on the market stayed relatively the same, 61 in 2020 versus 58 in 2019 for a 5% increase in those listings that were relisted by other real estate companies, taking into account the cumulative number of days that it really was on the market. List price to sell price in 2020 was 99.31, 98.83 in 2019, and that represents a 49%, excuse me, a 0.49, half a percent of increase. That's the percent change in the sale price to list price. And then for the homes that went through price reductions from sale price to original list price, 98.4% to 97.96% in 2019. Again, about a half a percent difference there. So the takeaways here are this. Prices appreciated 2 to 3 times the historical average last year. And we all know there was tremendous demand. But you got to know, if you're a seller in the marketplace, that depending on your depending on the type of property that you have and that price point and the location of the property, you might get multiple offers in a few days. You might be on the market for 50, 60, 70 days. It just depends. When the price gets higher, when locations get more rural, away from the conveniences that people like, sometimes properties tends to sit on the market a little bit longer. But you are getting a very, very good list price to sale price ratio in Elkhorn, and honestly in most of municipalities, because historically sale price to list price is about 93%. It's about 7% off of asking. So those are the stats for Fontana, Lake Geneva, Delavan, and Elkhorn comparing 2020 to 2019. We're going to have some more stats to provide you. And look, it's our goal here to be able to give you the most valuable information you can to make great decisions. And this kind of information is very, very, very worthwhile. I mean, think about it. How many years going forward do we think that the median sold price is going to go up by 12 to 15%? That we saw in other municipalities too. That's a very rare occurrence. So if you're looking as a seller to maximize your price, and you're wondering if you should wait or if you should sell now, we have the lowest historical inventory in our history right at this time, right at the time of this, which is mid-January 2021, lowest inventory in history, and it's a supply and demand issue. So if you want to maximize your price, this is an amazing time to be able to do it this spring moving into 2021. And we certainly hope that you consider us as a real estate source of great information and somebody who can really help you accomplish your goals if you want to sell your property. So with that, this is Chris DeVincentis of Legendary Real Estate Services signing off. Hope to see you again soon, and take care.